Guess who wrote another letter? Starts with an S. First name, the last name starts with a B. I guess the honeymoon or the shine is worn off. It is 1:45 in the morning. I'm really tired. So if I mess this up or the quality of the video isn't up to par, I apologize in advance, but I know you guys are going to want to see this. It's dated January 19th, 2024. Sarah has a new judge, and I cannot quite read the name, so I'm afraid to mispronounce that. So this letter is written to this new judge, and I am going to read it to you. And we're reading it together. I haven't read it yet. Okay? Finally, a new judge. It's strange how the Lord works. As I was in the process of trying to disqualify Wooten, whoa. First of all, using the Lord, and it suggests to the judge that, she's using the invoking the power of God or the name of God to suggest that this is God ordained. I mean, honestly, I think that's blasphemous. And trying to get Wooten disqualified? Okay. After being my judge 4 years and me still incarcerated, oh boy, does this sound familiar? With nothing to show other than 7 different attorneys, not by choice, capital letters, news clips of me walking in and out of the courtroom, and everything relative to my case permitted to be slathered on the global internet, and in which I have not seen myself. I still do not know what has gone on the internet that she wouldn't have already seen or already know. I'm certain she knows more than the public. As for her complaints about being put on TV, well, I recall some earlier letters in which she complained that the court clerk didn't upload her letters so that the public could be aware. I felt he was the ticket holder to my overly hyped, illicitly distributed, misconstrued criminal case. And a great reason I am still here, again, ongoing 4 years and 7 attorneys later, not by choice. See my letter dated 6/29/23 on clerk's website. Wow. So let's unpack this a little bit. So, Sarah, it is not Judge Wooten's fault that you were in jail. You are in jail because you zipped up a man in a suitcase, and when he was begging for his life and telling you he couldn't breathe, you wouldn't let him out. That's why you're in jail. Overly hyped. She, in previous letters, has complained about how her case is very convoluted. It's very complicated. And criminal in quotation marks. Is she not living in reality on this planet? Is she not aware of where she is and the nature of her charges? No, I think not. She doesn't want anybody to call her a murderer. That is her big issue. She does not want to be seen as a criminal. And of course, she's not going to take any responsibility for why she's still there and that there are so many delays. And yes, it's true, not all of it is her fault. While still waiting to properly elucidate the court, is she going to give us Merriam-Webster's definition of that? No. Hey. The court public and world, and after whatever the dysfunction was in the attendance part of my most recent PTC status hearing, which I am trying to ensure my automatic attendance futuristically, please see my draft motion included. I am still trying to have my attorney submit on my behalf. Here we go. I wanted to bring to your judicial attention the following information so you and the world are aware. The world, who she's upset is seeing it, but she wants to make sure that they see it. Okay. It is not I who am ever delaying trial, as Wooten inappropriately accused me of doing in a past hearing. Especially now you have mandated a trial date to be had in May, with no further continuances, leaving less than 4 months to put together and complete what should and could have been done already. She is right, it should and could have been done already. What happened in all the 4 years prior? Please see all my correspondence online. Seriously, if I was her, like, she's getting offered a clean slate in some respect with a new judge, a new lawyer. It might be a good idea for her to engage in new behavior. To date, Winston E. Hobson has been my court-appointed attorney for 133 days and counting. Ha, ha, ha. That's my imitation of the count, because I'm not going to spend the time trying to put him in the corner somewhere. To date, Mr. Hobson has only met with me one, and in brackets, one, in case they couldn't figure that out, time for a total of 3 hours, 11/7/23. To date, no phone calls have been received by Mr. Hobson, as his phone does not work properly for further immediate, much-needed communication to be made between client and attorney. Wait a minute. Like, is there something wrong with the telephones in Florida? Anybody from Florida listening here? Because, like, the other attorney had this same problem. That this phone is broken. Isn't that odd? To date, I have been mailed 5 letters. Sorry, I misspoke. To date, I have mailed 5 letters to Mr. Hobson, trying to communicate my urgent need to speak to him. To date, I sent 1 letter to the investigator in my case to contact Mr. Hobson to contact me and see if he can assist in correcting the phone problem, also to inquire when anyone is coming. Again, does this sound familiar to anybody? Maybe we should just, you could just make 1 letter, Sarah, and photocopy it and just change the names. To date, I feel I am not being included or heard or cared about in my case again. And I want to say also, again, she's saying this again. She's demanding that people care about her. From the continued miscommunication, again, with Mr. Hobson, and time-consuming, undiscussed entries are being made on my behalf, the continuance I did not know about, the waiver of appearance I did not know about, along with other documents, and I have never sent copies of anything filed, so I know. I keep trying to tell him about with no response, furthering the already massive dysfunction in my 4-year case. Wonder what's dysfunctional here, though. I said that part out loud, didn't I? Okay, I'll keep going. I was hoping in the PTC status hearing on Tuesday, 1/16/24, I could at least play catch up in the courtroom for 5 minutes. So many of my attorneys have done prior, including Mr. Hobson, in the one court date I've had for a continuance 10/30/23, to express and emphasize the need for him to communicate and schedule a second very overdue meeting. I still have not even heard from Mr. Hobson about our missed PTC status hearing. What's the status? To date, I think that says 1. To date, 1 out of 133 days and counting, attorney and his client have met. To date, 3 out of now 3,192 hours, attorney and client have discussed partial general case information. To date, I still have not seen my discovery. Your Honor, when is the next status hearing, please? Especially since we were not at the last PTC status hearing. We? What? Okay. And especially since I am trying to communicate with my attorney in more than one way to fully maximize and utilize the minute amount of time allotted before trial, my fair, appropriate, lawful trial, ? Sorry, I'm still stuck on the we. There's something wrong with that. I still am wondering why, though I've had to wait for 4 years for something to finally happen in my case. Ask Judge Wooten. I wonder also, was I the oldest case on his docket? Does she want a prize for it? Either way, I'm still here waiting patiently. No, you're not. And very excited to get this highly anticipated show on the road. But don't slather it all over the internet, world. Whoops. I await your overdue and very needed judicial direction, supervision, and intervention. What is she asking the judge to do? Intervention. Do what? She's going to now complain that, look, now you're not granting a continuance and these lawyers aren't doing what they're supposed to do, and now there's no time to prepare. Huh? She'll make sure that there's an argument. I await your overdue and very needed judicial direction, supervision, and intervention. Thank you in advance. Welcome? Sincerely, Sarah Boone. Oh, and she writes this motion. She's written the motion herself. She has an attorney, but okay. There may be a reason why he is not filing something or not doing something, a reason why he's asked for a continuance. They had to get an expert. They had to get a new expert, and that expert needs time to deal with her and talk to her. All right, the motion. So she's saying, I don't know if I want to read this. Comes now defendant Sarah Boone buying through her undersigned attorney, Winston E. Hobson. I'm sorry I'm laughing because she's just like, she's copying the language, right? Respectfully request permittance to attend, oh, may she not, attend all my pretrial conferences and hearings ongoing until the conclusion of my criminal case. That, I mean, fair enough, she wants to attend. But at the last hearing, they didn't do much because she wasn't there. So she cites the rules. She just goes on about it's this, that she has this right and she wants to be there, which, if I mean, fair enough. Interesting. Okay, well, that's the Sarah Boone letter. Didn't I tell you? She would be happy for a little while, but, you know, this is the pattern. This is the cycle. You're wonderful until you're not, and then you're terrible. She wants what she wants when she wants it. How many letters has she sent? We should put the count up in the corner. Okay, that's it for that one. I don't have a lot to say except, yeah, we know. Thanks for listening. Trust your gut. Have a great weekend. I'm going back to work.